Hey, Mario Rodriguez here, and you're watching the Review Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed. Now today, we're talking about Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2, and I gotta say, I just got home from watching the movie just now, as well as some Christmas shopping, and yes, I did like the movie a lot. There's lots of good moments there, lots of scenes that really kind of, hit you in the feels. I do believe it teaches a couple of valuable lessons, like with friendship and growing up and stuff like that. And the movie got lots of like negative reviews, I guess. People didn't like it. So I tried to avoid spoilers. I tried to avoid reading like negative comments and watching videos or whatever. I wanted to watch the movie like without my views being tainted, because I really loved the original movie. And like the idea of having more adventures of Ralph and Penelope was very appealing to me, to watch like a new movie of Wreck-It Ralph and stuff. And yeah, I didn't want them to influence my opinion, and I did like the movie a lot. There are two things that kind of, I guess, kind of ruin it or are kind of weird for me, that are kind of, I don't know, it's just very weird things that I gotta like talk about. But these are, of course, near the end of the movie, so it's kind of hard to explain like without like ruining the ending. So yes, heavy-duty spoilers, heavy-duty ending spoilers. If you guys have not seen the movie just yet, I suggest you don't watch the video until you watch the movie. And if you want to keep watching the video anyways, I'll warn you one more time before I get that far, because there are two things that just cannot be left like unaddressed. Like one bothered me, like really bothered me compared to the other one, but I think the other one is still something that's overlooked. But what can I say? I do like that the overall theme of the movies, both movies, is kind of like, I guess, looking into yourself and being happy with yourself, or like it feels there's a lot of like introspective stuff here and there. In the first movie, Wreck-It Ralph, of course, is the bad guy of his own video game, but like as a person, he's a good guy, but everyone treats him like crap, and he just wants respect and everything, so it kind of deals with like who you are as a person. And this movie now deals with Penelope not being happy with her life. She's very bored of her own game. And it's kind of ironic because Ralph's game is way simpler than Penelope's. Like Ralph is like a one screen, it's basically Donkey Kong. It's Fix-It Felix Jr., but it's basically Donkey Kong, and it's just one screen, and he's so happy with that simple life. But Penelope, that comes to a game that has like 3 tracks, you can pick different racers, and there's like hidden tracks or whatever. There's a build your own vehicle mini game or whatever. There's like stuff in that game, but she's still bored with it. She knows all the tracks, she knows everything, she's bored. And the movie takes place, like, there's like throwaway line in there that kind of suggests the movie takes place 6 years after the first one. And yeah, it's established that Ralph and Penelope hang out like a lot, and they're always like hanging out, going to different games, just having fun, just being friends. And it makes sense because Ralph didn't really have any friends in the first movie. Like his first real friend was Penelope. I guess Felix liked them, but he didn't like them back, But yeah, so it makes sense that they're always hanging out together. And the movie does kind of deal with that friendship and how it might potentially end and everything. And so basically speaking, the arcade game has the internet now. And during some events, I don't want to spoil too much. Yeah, I'm going to spoil the ending, but not this, right? But during some events, Penelope's arcade, the Sugar Rush game gets broken, like physically broken. The joystick that looks like a steering wheel gets broken. And of course, this is kind of cool that they actually mention it, because I mean, it would be an old ass game, right? So they actually do mention the fact that the game is real old, and that the people that make the arcade cabinet, like that company's been out of business like long ass time ago. It's like LJ Andrew, like those forgotten companies, and it's gonna be very hard to find parts. But I did find that there's that eBay has the Penelope, the Sugar Rush steering wheel, but it costs like $200. And the arcade guy is like, damn, that's too much and everything. So Ralph gets the idea that they gotta go to the internet to find that wheel and to fix it, because the thing is, the arcade is gonna be shut down. Like the entire cast of Sugar Rush is like without a home, and if they don't fix this game by Friday they're gonna like replace the arcade altogether. They're gonna throw it away for spare parts and stuff. So it's kind of urgent. So they gotta go to the internet. Of course, the internet's like, big, bold thing and everything. And they locate eBay, and they don't really understand how bidding works with money. So they yell out numbers and stuff, and they win the steering wheel for like $2,000 or whatever the hell dollars, or $20,000 or whatever. And when the time comes to get the wheel, it's like, okay, are you paying with cash, credit, and of course they got no actual money. So they got to figure out like how to pay for the steering wheel, and the bid expires within like 8 or so hours, so if they don't do it fast, they're going to lose the wheel altogether to someone else, and you got to figure out how to make money on the internet. And apparently they found out with this pop-up guy, this kind of CD pop-up guy, like all these, pop-ups here. Apparently people can find loot boxes and sell them, resell them for big money. And right now, like the biggest item they could possibly get that's worth like that much money is Shank's car. And Shank comes from this online racing game called Slaughter Race. So they gotta steal her car, and upon trying to steal the car and stuff, Penelope thinks that Shank is like totally awesome. She loves to play. She loves Slaughter Race. She loves like the unpredictable atmosphere. It's like darker and grittier, and there's like all these cars and trash, and of course it's an online game, so it's going to be like constantly expanded upon, so there's always going to be something new, or at least until the server goes down, right? But for the time being, it's like a big game, and Penelope is happy with that big game. And so Shank is like, like she's a friend of theirs now, I guess. So she's like, I can help you guys make money. You can't have my car though, but there's other ways to make money on the internet. So they basically make Ralph a BuzzTube like sensation, like his videos, like they make videos. It's kind of like YouTube, but I guess they're like YouTube's competitor because they actually do mention YouTube. They actually say, oh, YouTube got that video already. So Ralph becomes a BuzzTube star, and he does stupid videos, he's dancing the floss, he's cooking, he's doing like ghost pepper challenge and stuff, and it's pretty funny because it does kind of bring all this internet stuff out. I've seen all these videos, and I do like that the real world does kind of acknowledge that Ralph is a character that exists in their world as a famous, retro arcade star, so it kind of helps people watching it. Hey dude, hey, remember Ralph from Fix It Phoenix Jr.? Look at that, they're making videos of him and stuff, and yeah, so Ralph goes viral. And like the more views he gets, the more money he gets. He can actually get the money to repair that steering wheel. But during the movie, Penelope realizes that what she really wants in life is not so much the steering wheel to go back to her game, but she wants to go to the Slaughter Race now. She wants to go there. That's her calling. That's her dream. She wants to go there and stay there. And of course, Ralph doesn't want to lose her friendship because like he thinks he'll never see her again, And here's where we go into like super duper spoiler territory, but Ralph actually goes to the dark net and gets a virus and wants to, well basically, like it's not as bad as it sounds. Like his intention was to get a virus to kind of mess up the game a little bit, to make it slow and boring for Penelope to like just leave. But instead, this virus is very dangerous. I guess the virus is designed to find like a flaw and passes along the entire game. So it actually finds Penelope's glitch, which by the way, the movie kind of establishes that I guess whenever she gets like upset or has anxiety, she like glitches terribly, so she has to kind of calm down and stop glitching. But yeah, the virus locates Penelope and copies her glitch on like the entire game, and the entire game is glitching like how she does. And like Ralph has to save her because if they reboot the game, since Penelope does not belong in the game, like she'll get wiped out too and everything. And they did tell Ralph to make sure the virus does not escape outside of Slaughter Race. Of course it does, and it copies Ralph, and now there's all these like evil, or I guess misguided, or whatever you want to call it. They're not really evil, but they're bad Ralph clones all over the place, and it literally shuts down the internet. And I almost forgot that the movie was called Ralph Breaks the Internet. I thought it was just like a snazzy title, like a cool title. But no, he actually took the internet down with this Wreck-It Ralph virus. It just wipes everything out and it just logs everybody off and all that stuff. That's pretty interesting. Now, two things. Number one, they took care of all the Ralphs and stuff. I'm not going to establish how. But the thing is that the virus is still out there. They never like went to catch it or anything. And Ralph explains they put a virus in it. They never thought like, well, we gotta find it and stop it before it does even more stuff. Like they just let it loose. Like they never got like I don't know, Norton antivirus gun or a Avast or a Malwarebytes gun to shoot it down or something. Like I don't know. Like it was just left out there. I guess it's just like a metaphor for viruses will always be out there. I don't know, that was kind of weird. But the second thing I got established, this is like heavy spoilers, this is like ending of the movie spoilers. And I do gotta say, I appreciate the lesson because it's something that a lot of us gotta learn in life. We all have a lot of friends. We got friends in school, college, work, and stuff like that. But not all of us are pursuing like the same life goal. And sometimes our goal takes us to places that forces us to leave our friends behind. And we've got to deal with that, you know. There are people that, I don't know, let's say you go to a college in Ohio or something. You're in some Ohio college, but this guy has dreams of working for some company in California or something, and he finally gets that chance, he or she, you know, finally gets that chance to go to California and do whatever industry he or she wants. But the thing is, he or she made friends with someone in Ohio, and they got to deal with that. So similar here, Vanellope does want to stay in Slaughter Race, and Ralph has to learn to let her go because, I mean, you know, let her pursue her dreams. If, you know, the whole thing, like, if she really is your friend, if you really care about her, you gotta let her go. But also the thing to understand that just because, like, life splits you apart and she goes elsewhere, it doesn't mean you still won't be friends. Like, you're still friends after all, and you still feel kind of good because part of you kind of knows, like, yeah, you'll miss them, but, like, at least you know they're happy, and you're happy knowing they're happy. This is so mushy. But yeah, it is the lesson, and it is true. It happens to a lot of people in life as their friends grow up and move out or different things. Some people, some coworkers are just there for a while you're there for the long haul, and then they got to move back to whatever state they came from, and it kind of sucks to let them go. You know, stuff like that, you know. But basically speaking, the weird thing is, like, that works in real life, but how does it work for video game characters? The ending of the movie, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. I say a lot of time, if you're watching this, you have yourself to blame. But Vanellope actually stays in Slaughter Race. The ending, like, the movie ends with her staying in Slaughter Race. She actually said that the Shank rewrote her code so she can actually belong in Slaughter Race, and Ralph leaves. And there's, like, you know, this hesitation and stuff. I actually thought they were going to do it like so many movies where it looks like they're going to part ways and Ralph's going to walk off. And then he just comes back, oh, I can't leave and whatever. But no. She actually stays in Slaughter Race. And my big question is, how does this work in the arcade? Because, like, Vanellope is a character in Sugar Rush, and all of a sudden she's going to be missing. Like, first of all, the arcade guy is going to suddenly get, like, this eBay package for the joystick from some, I guess, anonymous benefactor or something. Like, how does that work, you know? And he's gonna wonder where it came from. And the thing costs, like, $20,000. He's going to wonder, like, who paid. I don't know. But, the arcade is indeed fixed. They did fix it. They showed it was fixed. But, like, how does it work that she's not in the game anymore? Like, in the first, I don't know about this one, but in the first movie they established that Vanellope was actually on the cabinet art. Like, and in the beginning of this movie, everyone loved her. Said, oh, she's my favorite. I love that glitch. That's my favorite superpower and all that stuff. Like, how are they gonna explain that Vanellope is suddenly, like, missing? Like, honestly speaking, the guy thought the arcade was busted when he puts the steering wheel and fixes it, and the kids start complaining that Vanellope is missing. I can't select her anymore. She's, like, missing from the selection screen all of a sudden. Like, he'll think the game got messed up and he might send it off to the scrapyard anyways. Like, I mean, because she's gone from the game. So no person, no tech guy can fix it because she's literally gone from the game. I don't know how that works because, can you imagine, like, Street Fighter? Because this movie, the two movies established that this is like the original Street Fighter 2, The World Warrior, that only had 8 characters to choose from, and the boss is only 12 characters. Can you imagine if Ryu or Chun-Li got tired of fighting the same guys over and over for all these years, and they just jump ship to, like, Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat looks more awesome or some shit, and you go to the arcade and Chun-Li is either faded out where you can't select her, or she's just magically missing from the fucking, like, it's going to become like an urban legend. People are going to be like having that I forgot what that effect is called. You're going to have that effect that, was Chun-Li real? Was she ever really in the arcade? There are people that claim that she was in Street Fighter, but we haven't seen her in the game for years. Like, was I imagining, like, these kids are going to grow up, like, in their 30s. They're going to be, like, thinking, like, was I imagining Vanellope von Schweetz? Was she really in Sugar Rush? Did I just imagine her? You know, like, how does that fucking work? that just got me. And another thing also, because a lot of movies and TV shows and other media also has this lesson, this whole there's no place like home kind of thing, where you're bored with your life, you're bored with your house, you're just bored of life or whatever, and then you find this new place, this new exciting place, you know, the grass is greener on the other side, all that shit, but then you go there and you realize that either you don't like it that much, or you realize that you miss home too much, or you had it better at home, and in the end you go home and you learn the lesson that you're better off at home. But like, that's the thing, Vanellope, like, abandoned her game and abandoned all her co-stars. And I know her co-stars treated her like shit like before because they hated her and all that stuff, but like, I suppose during the 6 years, once Vanellope was rebooted and she's part of the game, like, naturally they treated her better, maybe, I don't know, but she abandoned all her people from her own game, and they never did that lesson either, where she, you know, like in any other movie, it would have been that she thought that slaughter race was badass, but then she goes there and she realizes that it's not as badass as she thought, and she misses like her home, and she would have gone home, but it doesn't happen in this movie. So that is just weird. Like the virus thing, I mean, it bugs me a little bit, but the ending, that bugged me. And that kind of sucks because I love the movie, I love the message, I understand the message, but it's a message that applies more to real people and not fictional characters in a video game where you're going to go to the arcade tomorrow and notice your favorite character is suddenly missing, you know, like that is so weird. It's just, I don't know, man. That is so weird. But, yeah, those are my thoughts overall. The ending, that ending part kind of ruined it for me a little bit. I don't know. It just raises too many questions. I don't even know how I feel if I'm mad or whatever. But it just raises too many questions of how that works in the real world. Like, I don't know. But the other thing I want to say about the movie is that the movie still has lots of video game references in the beginning, and you know, the characters, you do get to see them a little bit. It's kind of ironic, despite this movie being about the internet, I kind of feel that in this movie you see the video game characters a bit more than the last one. And I do like the fact they actually pointed out that Zangief has like these weird furry patches on his, I guess his shins, ankles, whatever you want to call that part of your leg, your lower thigh, whatever. And that is weird. He always had those. It's a weird design. Like Blanca has that too, but Blanca's like a weird, you know, Brazilian beast. But Zangief, what's your excuse? What's all that fur, man? But that is funny. They actually pointed that out. I don't think anyone has ever made like a big deal out of it before now. But I like those little references here and there. I like the fact where, what can I say, Ralph just randomly said, hey, drinks are on Felix. Felix is buying drinks for everyone. And everyone's like, yay. And Ryu's like, sure you can. In the background. That was kind of funny. But, yeah, what can I say? It was an interesting movie. It's a different tone, but it's because it's a whole different story. And it is interesting. Just the ending was kind of weird. Like, the ending, like, it could have been like that, but they should have made Vanellope just come back and realize that I guess she's really happy with Sugar Rush. But I guess the moral in this case is that she really was not happy and she has to pursue her dreams. But again, how does that work for video game characters? It's a different thing. I don't know. And one last thing I want to mention, back when they were first talking about Wreck-It Ralph, like having potentially a sequel, I don't know if it was going to be called, I don't know if back then they established it was going to be about, well, I think they did say Ralph was going to go to the internet, but it didn't have a working title just yet, but it was about the internet. One thing they were talking about, like what they could do with the story and the characters and whatever, they were saying that they wanted to kind of play around with Ralph encountering like other versions of himself, like if there was ever Wreck-It Ralph 2 or 3 and he never knew about it, or encountering like the more badass, the more gritty, modern, remade version of Ralph, you know, that was more badass and hardcore, more realistic or whatever, like stuff like that. And that didn't happen in the movie, and I was kind of disappointed a little bit, but I hope that they explore that. If they ever make a third one, this is so weird because this movie also ended in a weird way, that what can they possibly do for a third movie if there even is one? I don't know. I think this might be it, but I don't know. I mean, the movie did like lots of good numbers, lots of good sales, so you know how it is. Money means a sequel, right? But I don't know where they can take the story from here, but they do make a new sequel. I do kind of want to like have that idea. I do like Ralph encountering, I guess, other versions of himself. Not the clones here, but I mean, Wreck-It Ralph 2 and 3 they never heard of, stuff like that. Hey, they made a sequel to my game. That'd be kind of cool, you know? But anyways, guys, Mark Rodriguez here, and those are my thoughts on Wreck-It Ralph. You guys can discuss in the comments below here and there. And what are your thoughts? What are your things? I might be curious now because now I'll be watching the other videos I haven't been watching on their thoughts. But yeah, those are my thoughts. So anyway, guys, stay tuned as we watch other movies or other things. We'll review all kinds of random stuff here in the Review Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed. See you next time.